What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are going to go ahead and have a look at the brand new Sugo Medal Exchange. So shout out to my mate Godot for creating this little infographic, as he usually does every single month, and this is great. This is a great visualization to show you guys the characters. So I guess without further ado, let's jump into it and review all of these characters and determine whether or not they're actually worth their given medal tally. So starting at the 150 medal tier, we've got Sengoku. Obviously, you do not want to pick this guy up. Like, the only reason you pick him up is if he's like the only legend that you're missing in the game, but you don't really want to be wasting medals on him. Kizaru, though, is an interesting one, because Kizaru in regular play, he's terrible. His regular unit and his 6+ are just absolute trash. However, his PvP rumble stuff is actually very good. If you're running a shooter or a slasher team, he's going to be one of those units that you want to have. He has CT reduction, very low CT, does a decent amount of damage for his CT, and he does like attack boosts for the slashers and shooters as well. He's a really useful unit to have. One of those types of units you definitely want on the front lines for those slasher and shooter based teams. If you lack Kizaru and you really want to build a good slasher or shooter PvP team, I would highly advise picking him up. But otherwise, if you're just thinking about regular content, if you don't even play Pirate Rumble, then you can probably ignore this one, because in regular content, Kizaru is absolute garbage. Neko is a pretty good one though, because his support effect attaches to Chopper and Pedro, I believe, and it removes attack down when you're inflicted with, I think it removes bind as well, actually. Let me go to Neko. Filter by Sai. He got his 6+, the regular 6-star has the same one too. Yeah, also Inu. So Pedro, Inu, and Chopper, and if you're inflicted with bind or attack down, reduces it by 2 turns. Very good support effect, sees definite play. So that's the only reason I'd probably pick him up. His regular unit in general is pretty bad though. Lore, this is the striker Lore. This guy is interesting as well. His regular play character is not the best. He does have a side graded 6+. So this guy, he is a striker based unit, striker orb booster special, but then of course he super evolves into a cerebral based character. He's okay, but the main thing is that he's got an interesting support. It only attaches to Corazon, and there aren't many good Corazons in the game, unfortunately. If they ever release another god tier Corazon, this is going to be a fantastic support. Just when you use the special of the unit, you get a 1.75 orb boost. Like, that's incredible. So I would love for there to be a new Corazon unit, whether it be like a new Corazon legend, for example. That would be incredible. But you know, he doesn't really see that much play, unfortunately, unless if you're using his 6-star plus on a cerebral team for something. But you got Robin. Robin's interesting as well. Like, Robin has a really cool kit, because like, on paper you think like she's just okay, but when you really look and dig deep into it, Robin is pretty good. I'm looking for a 6+, wherever that is. She's really good, right? Because the thing about Robin is that, you know, she's a 3.5 attack boost, a 3.75 to cerebral, but if you limit break expand her, she's a 4.5 times captain flat boost to cerebral, and a 1.5 recovery boost, recovery beneficial, 20% damage reduction. She's a 2 times attack booster and damage nullifier. Like, she's actually pretty good if you're running a cerebral team. If you're lacking good cerebral units, you may want to pick up her, and maybe Lore as well, because Lore, with your super evolution, provides good boost to cerebral. So that's a decent cerebral core right there. But again, like, they don't really see that much play, unfortunately, so I don't need to worry about it too much. And then Garp. I think Garp for 150 medals is an absolute steal. I really am waiting until we get a V2 Garp legend, because we kind of need it. But this guy with his 6+, his captain effect is okay, I guess. It's usable, but his special's great. 30% health cut that ignores everything, aside from normal attacks only, of course. 3.25 chain lock for 1 turn, and reduces special bind by 7. He resists it by 20 as a crewmate, so he's pretty much going to get that to activate, unless if you're inflicted with fear resistance. But he's got a very unique support effect. Kobe, Helmeppo, and Kuzan, and anytime you're inflicted with special bind, it reduces it by 3 for the whole team, not just for the supported unit, for the entire team. So any good Aokijis or any good Kobes in the future, there are a couple at the moment, this is a fantastic support to have. So I think 150 medals for Garp is probably the one that you would want to pick up the most if you don't have him. The 250 medal tier, we've got V1, Shirahoshi and Mansheri, and V3, Kuzan. So, you know, we said before how Garp has a good support for Kuzan, good combination right there. But V1 Shirahoshi Mansheri, she's pretty good. She obviously has lots of healing. She gives you guaranteed full board of slots, and her special allows you to remove 2 debuffs by 10 turns of your selection. Now, it doesn't remove like bind or despair or anything like that, but any icon buff, icon debuff really, such as like special limit or tap limit or attack down or poison or burn, whatever, like they can remove very unique debuffs like that. It can actually remove normal attacks only as well, up to 10 turns of it. So that's unique, but because it only removes 2 debuffs, it's not really that useful, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people rate this V1 Shirohoshi Mancherry. I don't think she's that good, honestly. V2 is incredible. V1, not so much these days. I mean, you can do it if you want to, if you don't have the unit, but honestly, I don't think it's overly worth it. And then 250 medals for Kuzan. Kuzan's got a pretty strong special. I think he's an orb booster and a color affinity booster, if I remember correctly. He's also a chain captain, like 4 times chain multiplier boost, 1.75 times attack, lots of matching slots at least, but he is a 2.25 orb boost and 1.75 color affinity, and lets perfects easy to be hit. Like he's okay. He gives you pretty good damage increase for your strength, dex, and quick teams if you need it, but not the best unit in the game. I don't think either of these characters are really worth the 250 medals. I guess if you're missing them and you really want them and you want to use them for teams, then go for it, but you shouldn't really be wasting all of your medals for these particular units. And then we can move on to the 400 medal tier. We've got Pudding for 400 medals. Now, Pudding is actually a good one. Initially, when Pudding released, I didn't like her that much because there really wasn't a use for her, but, you know, as time has progressed, she gets more and more useful as time goes on, right? So she has really good orb change, special cooldown, and allows you to store a buff and use it for another room. Like, it's pretty useful. She has the really good crewmate effects to basically guarantee her special to be activated. Pretty good effects there. For 400 medals though, I do think 400 medals is a little steep, but you know, there are some teams that can only clear content literally just because of this unit, so you know, take that as you will. I think Pudding is a decent choice, but again, you know, there may be crazy ones in coming months that you may want to save for, right? But then you got V3 Rayleigh. We don't even need to have a look about him. No, 400 medals for Rayleigh is a joke. He should definitely be in the 250 medal tier at least, but I know that the characters are on these tiers due to their age, so because he's, you know, only like a little over a year old, understandable why he's in this tier. I wouldn't recommend picking up Rayleigh. Super type Sabo is good, I guess, if you're running against mono dex content, but that is, you know, not very often at all, so I don't really suggest picking up this guy. He's got a good support though. Unfortunately, he doesn't really attach to too many units. I think he attaches to Koala, and he attaches to like the other Revolutionary Army commanders, but those characters don't have too many good units themselves, so you know, if those characters get amazing, like an amazing new batch in the future, you know, then we might have something going on there, but unfortunately, you know, support doesn't really see that much play. As a unit, he doesn't see that much play either, so I can't really recommend you pick up Sabo. But this final one we can really discuss, being German Double Six. So German Double Six are a really good unit. So they are a Psi super type unit. They've got a great captain effect, and it says that if they become the captain in the middle of an adventure, they become rainbow while they are in that swapped position. So you mainly want to use them as a crewmate, and then halfway through the quest, you use their special, and then they become the captain and become super effective. Their special is also good. It gives you a full board of tandem slots. It doesn't go through block orbs, but it gives your Psi units a 2.25 orb boost, and then they swap to the captain for 2 turns. And their super type gives you a chain multiplier boost and an orb lock. So this unit is pretty interesting, and there's other really good Psi units you can partner with them. Obviously Goldie Roger for a huge attack boost, Pirate Rumble Anel for a huge color affinity boost, and you got this guy for an orb boost. You can use Wano Law, for example, depending on your captain, to get a chain boundary effect as well. Your V3 Bow is another good Psi super type unit. I mean, Yamato moving forward in the future, another good Psi super type unit. There's just so many good units that you can partner up with this character, right? So the thing about it is this is not the extent of this character. This character will be receiving a super evolution during the month of October. So literally during this next month, he should be the next super evolution character into this guy right here, the Germa 666+. Now, this guy is also really good, and he doesn't really get that much changed. He's a 4.5 flat boost. I believe previously he was a 4x boost, 4 times to all other characters, 5 times if you have a Psi or a tandem slot, and the same thing. If he becomes the captain in the middle of the adventure, he becomes super effective. So all of these things are fantastic, but then his special goes to stage 1, 2, and 3, and you can see his final stage, all orbs including block into tandem, so you're guaranteed to get those slots. And then also an orb boost to Psi characters for 3 turns, and they swap to the captain for 3 turns, meaning that you can, instead of, you know, previously being 2 turns, you can do it over multiple different stages, because because it goes through the preemptive of the enemy, meaning you can be super effective for 2 different stages. That's incredibly powerful, and the enemy can't remove that because I believe switching you into a captain position, I think that's classified as a debuff, which means that if the enemy removes your beneficial effects, they still maintain the captain spot, so you can still do other things with that. So that's really cool. I think just due to that, this character is probably the best character in the 400 metal tier, and the one that you should probably invest in moving forward into the month of October. But another thing to note is that during this month, this is a big celebration of Germa 66 in general. We're going to be having the Sanji Germa 66 character, and then the Straw Hats in their Germa 66 uniforms, and I would expect Germa to be featured on a couple of banners this month, so hold off on purchasing this character straight away. I'd probably wait to see if you do choose to pull on some of these banners. You may end up pulling this unit during the month, and then once that has come to pass, then you can go ahead and pick him up if you don't have the unit and you wish to buy it. That's just my suggestion to you guys, but hopefully this gives you guys a bit of insight as to what to be expecting in this upcoming medal exchange month, and hopefully there's some characters there that you may want to pick up. If not, it's okay, you can conserve those medals for a future Sugo exchange medal banner, and see if there's any characters that you want to get in coming months. But that's going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.